cartoons, and we hope to keep that tradition alive as well. So again, we talk about placemaking, we talk about this community, about bringing people here to know the Tonawandas, and a lot of the ticket sales and folks that come here are from out of the area. This is a big part of tourism, it's a big part of economic development, and it's a big part of North Tonawanda. So thanks to the capital upgrades here, the Riviera's enjoyability and functionality will be enhanced, and the space will be accommodating for more larger events, which will draw more larger crowds, and from here and beyond, and the beautiful downtown of North Tonawanda will, of course, benefit. And I can say if you haven't visited the Riviera before or lent support to its continuing mission, it is now the time. And I'll next welcome back our MC, but before I do that, my staff has come up with a phrase to remember this whole project, and it is long live the Riv. So we're going to carry on that catchphrase and go forward. So thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
The contribution Assemblyman Conrad has provided to the Riviera expansion project will be an enormous move forward to our efforts on making the Riviera all it can be. Assemblyman Conrad, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the employees, volunteers, and our patrons, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We urge the Western New York and Southern Ontario community to support our Capital Project Challenge Grant from Assemblyman Conrad and to help us finish the job, or long live the Riv. At this time, I'd like to share a short story of how we got to this point. When the theater was built, and they started in 1925 and was dedicated on December 30th of 1926, the patron experience was primarily movies, accompanied by the mighty Wurlitzer theater organ, provided by the Wurlitzer Company right on the other side of the city here. Concessions were unheard of and restroom facilities meager. To say the least, the theater was not designed to handle continued sellout crowds as we have become one of the premier concert venues in Western New York and Southern Ontario. At one point, roughly around in the early 2000s of this century, the Board of Directors started to make plans on an expansion to enhance the theater. Preliminary plans were drawn up, added to, changed, and modified. At that time, the business climate at the theater was lagging, with funding and grants even weaker. We soon found that we could not achieve that plan, and after some debate in 2019, it was decided we approach the adjacent property owner and negotiate a price. And then the pandemic hit us, and it set us back a year and a half here. At that time, we heard she was either ready to retire or move to a smaller business space. After much negotiation, we took ownership of the new space in September of 2022, the space that we're in today. CJ Architects of Buffalo and Catalano Contracting from Cheektowaga as a general contractor were brought in. As we have gone through our silent period, and with Assemblyman Conrad's Challenge Grant contribution, we have achieved close to 78% of our $3 million estimated budget, and are now announcing our capital campaign to close that gap. We are confident our 100% goal will be met. At this time, I would also like to thank the board member Marina Wilcock on rekindling that final flame that we needed with her great enthusiasm that she's brought to the board. We are looking at a spring 2024 dedication, and the final product will not disappoint, as this will move the historic theater into the 21st century and close in on our 100th anniversary, which falls on December 30th, 2026. And now I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Dave Filmarth, who is responsible for bringing the last 5 years of bringing the theater into one of the major concert venues in Western New York. David?
David.
Thank you. Good morning. Can you hear me now? There we go. I've waited 6 years for this moment. And to put that in perspective, that's 1/16 the lifespan of our board president, Larry Deniff. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 1/16 the lifespan of the Riviera Theatre.
Thank you.
Nothing? This is also the press conference for Dave's last day working for Riviera Theatre. This project is so important because we're approaching our 100 years, and This expansion is going to ensure that we'll be around for another 100 years. If you've ever been here for a concert before, and I would hope most of you have, you know we have the top production. We've got a great crew, best sound and lights, 1,100 enthusiastic fans enjoying a night out. What's sorely missing is restrooms, adequate restrooms, and space. Where we stand today, you're going to find adequate restrooms, ADA compliant restrooms, lots of restrooms, and lots of space. This will enhance the concert going experience. Where we stand, we're also going to have a full service bar, complete with large screen TVs that will show what's going on our stage right next door at the Riviera Theatre, so you can watch the concert from the lobby if you would like. We're going to have an outdoor patio with a bar, a merchandise area, new offices, a new box office, which will certainly be easy to access for our patrons that purchase tickets. I might want to also add, in the 6 years I've been here, we've accumulated a collection of autographed guitars from the artists that have performed here. And we're going to have a guitar wall that's going to display all those autographs. Should be quite a sight and an attraction. In closing, the vibrant activities going on in North Tonawanda and the Tonawandas, it's a destination now to come here. Restaurants are full, bars are hopping with people laughing and music playing. There's just so much activity going on, and this project is going to ensure that the continued growth of the Tonawandas continues. We're excited and can't wait for September 1st, kick off the campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Before we get into questions, I would like, starting from this end, everybody to announce, this is the Board of Directors of the Riviera Theatre. Please state your name.
My name is Joe Levy, and I'm the Vice Chair in charge of Community Relations.
My name's Marina Wolcott, and I'm the cheerleader.
Larry Deniff, Chairman of the Board.
Joseph Casada, member of the board, legal counsel with the Riviera Theatre.
I'm Rick Ostrazinski. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Directors, Riviera Theatre.
Josh Lemke, board member.
John Shear, board member.
Neil Lang, board member.
Kevin Herr, board member.
Steve Desmond, board member and treasurer.
Thank you. And for everybody that, for their knowledge, back in 1988, Neil Lang and his family took possession of this theater and refurbished the theater itself to what you see today. So thank you very much for all of that.
That's good, man.
At this time, we will entertain any questions you may have.
What's going to change from the current theater that you won't need anymore, or that you're going to alter to enhance this?
The only thing that's going to change is in the lobby. Like I say, concessions were never part of the original theater, so I can't, maybe Neil can state a date when the concessions were put in there, but those will be removed so we have an open flow through the front doors into the theater.
Yeah, that concession stand was put in the 70s. Prior to that, in the late 50s, there was a round concession stand where the chandelier of the lobby is located. And prior to that, concessions, 40s, late 40s, was a cart operation. They would bring the snacks on a cart and people would buy per cart. But before that time, concessions weren't considered an okay thing to do in theaters. People didn't eat in theaters or drink in theaters. Hence, you can get away with 2 bathrooms.
Correct.
Can I add something to that? Or just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, to follow up on that question too, the new addition here is going to have a modern appeal, certainly to a younger audience as well as an older one, but all the modern amenities of Wi-Fi, and it'll have a totally different look. And the idea is to, once you go through those doors to get to the historic Riviera Theatre, you're going back in time 100 years, so there's going to be that transformation.
Will the entrance be under the awning, or the entrance to the whole facility?
Yep, we've got 2 entrances, the existing entrance as you know it now, and there's going to be a new entrance, which I'm going to point to your right through that set of doors over there, and we'll have new awnings up and directing the patrons and whatnot, so there'll be 2 entrance points. Traffic flow will be easy, and again, more space. It's very welcome.
What will happen to the existing restrooms? Will those be modified as well, or just moved over here?
Boy, I chuckle because those things are part of the original theater, and there is some, yeah, there's some memories there, I guess. How would I put that? You can still smell some of the memories. Upstairs, we're gonna redo the restrooms, refurbish them, and make those usable. Just for the people up in the balcony, it'll be a lot easier and quicker, as well as the new restaurants, or I'm sorry, new restrooms down here. The thought process with the bottom two, we haven't figured this out yet, but I think we can certainly utilize that space for a coat room. We tend to have an older clientele here, so perhaps we can use it for storage for walkers and things of that nature. And we can also utilize one of them for a slop room. But we're going to repurpose them, and we're going to put everything to good use, and the whole concert experience here is going to be greatly improved for all of our patrons.
Does it improve the amount of seats you're going to have?
There's no bearing whatsoever on what the current theater is. We still seat 1,100 for a concert, and that will continue. We're not touching any of the seats or anything. All the effort on the construction is in the new addition here.
And what will make that, this addition here is that all bar facility, other than the balcony, which will still have a small bar, but we're moving the bar facilities out of the back of the theater, which causes some great congestion at times, and it gets pretty noisy. People go back there and they start talking, it starts interfering with the patrons. So all that first floor bar activity will now be centered into this room here.
Are there any events plans for the start of the capital campaign project, and how can people help?
We'll have things on our, Derek, who takes care of our Facebook and our website page, we'll have information available on there. We'll send out other press releases, not necessarily requiring a press conference, but we'll send out other press releases as more things are brought forward.
I'm going to jump in here again one more time. I just realized I probably left out an important piece of this as well. The first phase, the emphasis is on the patron comfort with a new addition here. Secondly, and this will be ongoing with the construction here, we're putting in new dress rooms off the back of the building, and this is for the artists' comfort. If you don't know how the Riviera set up, the current situation, the dressing rooms are under the stage, and our older artists have to go walk down the stairs. So people like Wayne Newton, who will be here next Thursday at 8 o'clock, by the way, when he's here, he's going to have to go down the stairs and make the best of it. With the new additions, it's going to be right off the side of the stage. They're going to be modern, new lounge, showers, restrooms, and all the facilities, all the rooms. It's going to have all the comforts of the modern-day theaters. So it's going to be welcomed by the artists, and this will allow us to bring bigger names in here as well. So everything that's going to happen at the Riviera is going to be bigger and better.
Patio.
I talked about the patio. And your parking space.
How long of a process has this been so far to get to this point?
To get to this point, if you exclude the previous, we had designs on a very grand expansion out the back of the theater. But like I stated, economic times, we couldn't garner a lot of interest in that, and funding was very slim. So that's why we pursued this. We started pursuing this in late 2018, early 2019. We negotiated with the owner of this section here, and like I say, we come to an agreement, a sale price, and then the pandemic hit, and it set us all back. The theater was closed down for 1.5 years, and the stipulation was we couldn't finalize the deal until we were opened back up again. And I believe our first show open was July of 22?
Give or take a day.
Yeah. And then by September of that year, we closed on this property, and we've been moving forward ever since.
All of that said, how does it feel to be at this point where you have a press conference?
It's so close. We've been waiting for this for years. We would announce things in the past, and people go, oh, yeah, sure, you've been talking about this forever. But now it's real. All new glass in the front should be coming in the first week of September. And as soon as our bridge loan comes through, which could be any day now, we're going to go full force and get this thing completed. We're looking, as long as we don't run into any problems with construction labor and materials, we're hoping to dedicate this sometime in the spring of '24.
And how do people
That will all be, we're going to be sending out letters to major patrons, and it'll also be, we'll have a special link on our Facebook and website pages. Yes, sir.
This is just a thought. I was sitting here thinking about what we're doing here, and that I was born in 1927. That means in 96. Hurry this up, because I want to celebrate my 100th birthday.
We'll make sure that you're here for that celebration. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, thank you, gang.
Yeah.
Again, thank you.